So I have a question for you. Have you ever made a New Year's resolution and then not kept it? Or maybe you've made a goal and failed to reach your goal or not achieved that goal? You're not alone. A lot of us have been in that situation. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Nick Dyson and I'm here to help you with personal development, leadership, finances, and those types of things. So I want to thank you for coming back and joining me, but I'm going to talk about how to achieve your goals. 7 steps to achieve any goal that you want to achieve. So when I said that you're not alone in not reaching a New Year's resolution or achieving your goal, studies have shown that only about 8% of people actually keep their New Year's resolution. The vast majority of those don't even keep them past January, not even to 1 month, and they're out the window and they're gone. There's even studies that have shown just in general how people create goals and don't keep them. You can go and find tons of articles and analysis on that. There's plenty out there. But I'm going to give you 7 steps and we're going to achieve any goal that you want to set. So before we get started, before you go through any of the steps, determine a goal, decide what you want to work towards. It could be lose weight, it could be financial independence, it could be getting out of debt. Whatever your goal is, go ahead and determine what that is. Step number 1, write down the goal. Physical, piece of paper, note card, something, and put it somewhere that you're going to see it every day. Now, this sounds crazy. Why would I write down the goal? Why would I want to see it every day? What is the point? Well, studies have actually shown that you're about 1.4 times more likely to achieve your goal if it is physically written down. It's a 40% increase. While that may not sound significant, it's something. There's other studies that even show that between 3 and 20% of people who make goals write them down. So if you compare that you're 40% more likely to keep the goal, but 20% or most of the time less actually write them down, it's no wonder why most people don't reach their goals or don't follow through with them. So you need to write down your goal, have it physical, put it on a bathroom mirror beside your or on your nightstand, or maybe on your refrigerator or on your computer desk, somewhere you see it every day. Write down your goal. Step number 2, determine your motivation, your why. Simon Sinek wrote the famous book, Start with Why. That goes for goals too. Determine your why. Why do you want to achieve this goal? For me, I used these 7 steps and I lost over 100 pounds. Now, my why was for personal fitness, for better health, and I wanted to look good for future relationships and to be around for a long time for my future family. Those were my motivations. They were what was driving me to achieve that success. And I wrote down the goal. I had the rest of these steps laid out. I followed through and lost 100 pounds. It's doable. It's practical if you follow the 7 steps. Step number 3 that you need to go through is accountability. So when you go through this 3rd step, you need to have someone that holds you accountable. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be maybe someone online through an accountability program or coach in some way that will check in with you to be sure you are following through on your goals. For me, I had twofold. I had someone that was actually a coworker that met with me once a month just to check in and say, hey, how's it going? Are you still working? Are you still working on your goals? Because weight loss wasn't my only goal, but they were just a casual check-in. And I had to report to them and just tell them, yeah, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. The other person I had was a close friend of mine who held me accountable. Hey, are you working out? Are you exercising? How's your diet looking? Things like that. That was more specific and much more accountable. But it gave me somebody to answer to, somebody that I had to admit how I was doing, what I was doing, and I had to be responsible with my goals. Step number 4, make a plan. You can't just go into it and say, I'm going to lose weight and then figure it out. You can't go and say, well, I'm going to do keto or I'm intermittent fasting or low calorie, or you can't go in a weight loss or a weight training program and say, I'm just going to go to the gym 5 days a week. Great. What's the plan? What exercises are you going to do? What consistency? How long are you going to be there? What days are you going? What specifics can you put towards the plan? Even for weight loss, what are you going to eat? How are you going to cut out calories? How are you going to do different things? If it's for personal growth, great. What podcast are you going to listen to? What books are you going to read? What YouTube videos are you going to watch? How are you going to journal? Are you not going to journal? What is your plan? Because you need to have a plan, determine it, and set that plan in motion to achieve your goals. Step number 5, and I'm going to do a full video on this step number 5 at some point in the future. Make sure your goal is a SMART goal, meaning it is simple, it is measurable, there's some numeric value or something you can measure with it. Make sure it's something you can actually achieve or it's attainable. Make sure it is relevant to what you're wanting to work on, and make sure you put a time frame on it. You can't just say, I want to lose 30 pounds. Great, it's measurable, it's simple, you can definitely lose 30 pounds, it's relevant if you want to do weight loss, but you didn't set a time frame. Are you doing that in 6 months? Are you doing it in a year? Are you doing it in 2 years? What is your time frame? Set a time frame. You may say that I want to add 25 pounds to my bench press or 50 pounds to my bench press. Great. How long are you going to work at that? What makes sense? What is reasonable? What is your goals and your plans as far as nutrition and protein intake and all of those things? There's so much that you need to consider and work towards. So step number 6 is set incremental goals. You can't just jump and say, hey, I'm going to lose 100 pounds, because that is overwhelming. I did that initially. My initial goal when I started was I'm going to lose 85 pounds. And everybody's like, oh no, that's too hard. That's too much, that you're going to be overwhelmed. But no, I set in my mind, I wanted to lose that weight and I was going to do it. Set forth the plan, had accountability. I had all these steps in place, but I also still had incremental goals. Based on my weight, I said, okay, the first incremental goal is 5 pounds. Second incremental goal is 25 pounds. Then I'm going to hit half of 100 and be at 50 pounds. And then I had a goal at 60 pounds. And all of these were based on my actual body weight of numbers that I wanted to see on the scale, but they came out to these even numbers, luckily. And then ultimately 85 pounds was my goal. And then I upped it later and went to 100 pounds and got even down 120 at the max. So definitely incremental goals, and you build yourself up because it gives you small wins along the way. Don't just look and say, I've only got one goal, the end goal, and I've got to reach to that. Set incremental goals so you have long-term plan and wins along the way. Step number 7, and this is probably the hardest of all of them, you have to start. These goals and these steps mean absolutely nothing if you don't get started. Making a plan is just wishful thinking. Good thoughts and goals and plans, they're all just wishful thinking until you put action to them. You have to start. You have to take that first gym trip, that first exercise, that first walk, that first meal that's a salad or something lighter and lower in calorie. You have to do that first thing. Read that first book, watch that first video or podcast. You have to do those things and get started. Because if you don't get started, then you're not going to be able to be consistent. You're not going to be able to follow through with these 7 steps, and you're going to continue to struggle with your goals. So once again, my name is Nick Dyson. I hope you enjoy my channel and my content. I hope these 7 steps will help you in achieving your goals. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on goals, personal development, leadership, finance, and all of those things to help you take back control of your life. So please subscribe and join me again in another video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.